Hey everybody, it's Ron from Pick Dawgz, and this is Ron's Big Shot Breakdown. We're going to go over 5 college basketball games for Saturday, December 21st, 2024. If you like this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. Put your college basketball picks in the comment section below. And if you're looking for my best bets, the games I love the most in college basketball and other sports like college football, I got my college football play of the week for Saturday. You can find those at the premium picks tab at pickdawgz.com. There's also a link in the description. Alrighty, here we go. Here are the games for Saturday in college hoops. First up, we have Texas A&M Corpus Christi taking on Houston. This one's going to be a 2 p.m. Eastern start time on CBS Sports Network. For me, this is going to be a classic Houston win and blowout win and cover at home. We've seen a few of those this season at the beginning of the year against Jackson State, Louisiana, and Hofstra. I think this is another one because while I think Corpus Christi is actually a decent team and will be quite competitive in the Southland, they just don't match up well in my opinion here. And one of the big reasons is the defensive rebounding has really been a problem for Corpus Christi, ranked 328th in the country. Houston's known for getting a lot of second chance points, and even they're already a good shooting team. They're 10th best in three-point shooting, but if they're getting those offensive rebounds, it makes their offense even more dangerous. So I think Houston scores at will in this game. I also like the matchup for Houston defensively. Corpus Christi scores a lot of its points inside the perimeter, inside the paint and mid-range jumpers. They score about 60% of their points there, and they shoot the ball well from two-point range, 55%. Houston, though, the number one two-point defense in the country. They force a lot of tough shots. They get a lot of blocks, the 5th best team in the country in block percentage. So I think Houston really tightens up defensively, doesn't give Corpus Christi what it's looking for, and I just think Corpus Christi's not going to have enough answers for 40 minutes to be able to keep up and to cover this number. So like I said, I think Corpus Christi is a team to watch out for in Southland play. They have not played a very tough schedule to start the season, though, right around 300th in strength of schedule. This, by far, is their toughest game of the season. I think it's going to show. Give me Houston in this one. I'm going to lay the big number. Next up, we have Florida Atlantic and Michigan State. This one's going to be 2 p.m. Eastern. It'll be on Fox Sports 1. For me, while Michigan State's definitely off to a nice start to the year, 9-2 record, they've had some nice wins on their resume, the win over North Carolina, the blowout wins over Minnesota and Nebraska to start conference play. I still think that getting this many points with Florida Atlantic, I think the Owls are a dangerous dog. This is a potent offense. They've scored 80-plus points the last 3 games. All those were wins. And they're a good three-point shooting team. They offensively take good shots. They're a fast-paced team. I think their offense can do enough in this game to keep up. I mean, the Spartans have a strong defensive team. They're great on the defensive glass, so they shouldn't give up too many second-chance opportunities. But, Michigan State, they're not a great three-point shooting team. They've had some issues here and there taking care of the basketball, and FAU has been able to force some turnovers. I also think, when you look at FAU's defense on paper, doesn't look the best. It's ranked 173rd in adjusted defensive efficiency, 356 in three-point defense, but they are forcing tough shots. They are forcing the turnovers, like I mentioned, and Michigan State is also not a great shooting team from the perimeter, so I'm not sure they're going to be able to exploit those issues on the perimeter defense. So for me, like I said, getting this many points, I think FAU is live. I think it's going to be a single-digit game, and I think the Owls have a chance to win it outright and pull off a major upset, but I'm going to take the points with FAU just in case. Next up, we'll stay in that 2 p.m. Eastern window as this one's Louisville and Florida State. This is going to be on the CW network. Now, these are two similar defenses in terms of forcing turnovers. They're very aggressive defenses, but Louisville, I think, does the better job in this game at taking care of the ball, getting some second chance opportunities, and shot quality-wise, the Cardinals are one of the best teams in the country right now. It's a reason why I'm not giving up on Louisville. Yes, they're 6-5 straight up, but they covered in that last game against Kentucky, despite Kentucky going crazy from the perimeter. They were 11 of 21, 52% from 3. Louisville still was able to score 85 points and cover the number as a double-digit dog. And they're not getting as many points in this game. But I think Florida State, while they're off to a nice start to the season, it's a team we've backed plenty of times, and they've done well for us. They have not played anywhere near as tough a schedule as Louisville has this season. The Cardinals have already faced Tennessee, Indiana, West Virginia, Oklahoma, Ole Miss, Duke, and Kentucky. Some neutral site games and that one true road game at Kentucky against a rival. I think Louisville gets its first conference win of the season, a road win in Tallahassee. Next up, it's UCLA and North Carolina. This one should be a great one, 3 p.m. Eastern on CBS. It's a part of the CBS Sports Classic in Madison Square Garden, so a neutral site game. Now, North Carolina, on paper, 6-5, just like Louisville, a team that, program, we're not expecting to have this kind of record at this point in the year, but you got to take a look at their 5 losses. Kansas on the road by 3 points in a game that they covered the spread. No shame in that one. You lose to Auburn. Yes, the margin was a little bit steeper than you would want, a 13-point loss, but Auburn's one of the best teams in the country right now, number one in KenPom. So again, no shame in that loss. Then you lose in overtime against Michigan State, a very well-coached team, a good team in general. In overtime, a close one. No shame in that loss. You play Alabama. Again, the margin a little bit steeper than you want, 15-point loss, but Alabama is a potent offense, also a very well-coached team, a top 10 team in KenPom. There's not really a bad loss there. Then your most recent game against Florida, it was a 6-point loss against a Gators team that had not won a game by single digits. They had won by double digits, plus the entire season until that game. So North Carolina was the most competitive matchup. And it was a game where North Carolina had a lead late. They were up by 4 points with about 4 minutes to go. Yes, they couldn't hold on to that lead, but that's a Florida team that I picked to win the national championship in the preseason. I'm really high on Florida, so no shame in that loss. North Carolina's battle-tested. They don't have some big resume wins so far. This is definitely a game that can go a long way for them, but I think this North Carolina team is fine. Offensively, still top 25 in adjusted offensive efficiency. They take care of the basketball. They're a good shooting team, especially from the free throw line. They have a big advantage there over UCLA, which is ranked 237th in free throw shooting as a team. UCLA is not so much battle-tested. I mean, North Carolina, the 7th toughest schedule in the country. UCLA ranked 303, a lot of home games against inferior opponents. They played some West Coast teams, Oregon, Washington, Arizona. This one, I think, is the toughest matchup of the season for them, and I think they struggle. That defense is excellent. The offense, for me, not good enough in a game like this. So give me North Carolina. They get their big first signature win, other than Dayton, of the season. Next up, it's Bellarmine in Colorado. This one's also going to be 3 p.m. Eastern on ESPN+. Bellarmine has definitely struggled defensively this year, but I think they're a little bit better than what we've seen, and I think they've been a little bit unfortunate as well. I mean, they're tough. They're forcing some tough shots, but when you look at Wyoming, I mean, they shot 82% from two-point range, 86% from the free throw line, and then 14 of 28, 50% from three-point range. I mean, this is a decent Wyoming shooting team, but definitely not anything close to 50%. I think Bellarmine was a little bit unlucky in that one, and it was an absolute blowout loss. But I think because of a loss like that, we're getting a good price with the Knights in this game. And this is still actually a decent offense for Bellarmine. They're one of the best free throw shooting teams in the country. They're a solid three-point shooting team as well. They take a lot of triples. It makes them a dangerous dog when they're getting a lot of points like we see in this matchup. And, Colorado, they're off to a solid start to the year, 8-2 record, but a team that is pretty miserable fundamentally. They turn the ball over a lot. They don't force many turnovers. They're not a great offensive rebounding team. So they're really relying on making a ton of shots in this game to cover a giant spread like this. I can't get there with Colorado in this one, laying this many points. I think Bellarmine keeps it rather close. Still a pretty comfortable Colorado win, but Bellarmine covers the number. Give me the points with the Knights in this game. And that's it. Those are the games for Saturday in college basketball. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe, and put those college basketball picks in the comment section below. Again, if you're looking for my best bets, you can find those at Pick Dawgz Premium. As always, this is Romanelli. Good luck.